Shattered. All right. Oh, not much. Oh, just admiring my work. Yeah, well, where do we start? We tacked it up. We've tacked a lot of shit up. We'll give you a rundown of what we've done. So, starting off where we left off, we were testing out our billet bung, and we're happy. We're happy with it. We're cheering. Behind here, so there's so much, all right, we're just going to run you through with everything. So sand shield or sand visor stops all the sand coming through the bow of the buggy, and then there's sand blast in your throat and your eyes. So it also adds a bit of a style as well. So we've got the cutouts here to suit the intrusion bars. You'll notice that we've changed our design if you've seen on the Instagram and that, our proofs. But yeah, we've gone to the twin intrusion bar. So getting rid of the sand shield reveals our ditch light bracket, which ties into our billet bung. That's all integrated and squared up. We've got our Zeus fasteners, quarter turn fasteners throughout this whole build. That way every panel is easily removable. We just use a 3/16, I think it is, Allen key head. Moving to the side, which we'll show you soon on the other side, is our gangster mirror bracket. But the best part so far is sexy sliders. These have been my favourite part of this whole build, and when I was designing it, I just love it. And they're actually going to be usable as well, user-friendly, because now we've got a side intrusion and B-pillar. It's going to be very fucking hard for leisure activities to climb in and out of this cage. So we want a nice sturdy step. We've got the first step for the shorties and this step for the normal people. So, and then climb in, climb over, I don't know. This here matches up with your body lines of the door. And then obviously we've notched out here, and then they pick up this part. They're billet bungs with 10mm bolts in them, there, and there. So they're not going anywhere. Like, that's just tacked, barely tacked. And the beauty about them is we still have maintained factory doors. We are going to add Zeus clips through here so we can run sheet metal doors, but not really my cup of tea. We're just trying up a new style of going keeping it like factory looking, but then we fucked it with it and touched it as well. So we want to keep it nice and sexy. The factory door bolts onto here. It is a bit awkward, but it does allow it to open, but this does intrude a bit, which isn't the end of the world, because you just pull this guy off, rattle off your two nuts, unlock it, and then throw the fucking thing on the floor, and then you'll be able to get your seats in, get your seats out, do some wiring. Eventually, we're going to develop some race auxiliary tanks. We're not going to have time for this deadline, but they are coming. We'll go to the other side, show you the gangster mirror, and also, what have we got here? We've got a gangster little bumper, which you would have seen on the design proofs as well. It's integrated to the factory bumper and chassis points. Still got your toe point and shackle there. We're going to drill some holes here, make a revision for our our King's jack to go in, which locates it instead of welding tube, which we did have somewhere. We're going to weld it here, but it looked a bit shit. We designed these for the Baja Design LP6s or whatever, so they were a lot bigger, but now we're just running, to keep it all uniformed, we're just going to run the steady 4-inch lights. So we're going to just make a good point to cut this down, which will help change the whole look of the buggy, because right now it looks like a fucking 6-poster on a Kenworth. And then also the biggest factor is actually, I guess, less blockage of the airflow, because these are a massive radiator, but we're also going to hopefully clear the camera. So once this is down to here, we should be able to still get some field of view, and it will be usable, because when you're coming over the top of a dune and you can't really see it down there because of the sand shield and everything else, it's good to know that there is no like cars or anyone, and then also no ditches or trees, so you know you can just fucking send it and go straight over, probably end for end anyway. So anyway, back to ditch lights and my gangster mirror. So we've got a 5-inch truck spotter mirror. All right, so if you shoot through there, general rule of thumb is where your head is here, you can see the head in there. All right, big old fucking head. All right, so the beauty about these is we've developed it because a lot of guys just run this off a bracket, a little gauge tab like we've got here. This is factory spec, and then some tubes, but that looks ugly. So we've got adjustability here with front and the back. If you want to protect them a bit more, you've got adjustability here, and then obviously the mirror pivots on itself as well. But the best part is covers. So that's hidden, it's uniformed, it goes with the sheet metal around the buggy, even though there's not that much, but it just fucking looks sick, all right? If it looks good, okay? So that bolts onto there, it's removable. If you ever damage it, you just pull it off, make a new one. It's aluminium, so when you brush trees, rocks, and your other mate's buggy, you don't fucking scratch your paint. And it's lightweight, and it also covers the mirror and still allows you to maneuver it. Obviously, if this was fixed, it'd be a bit easier, but you can also slide that in and out if you want to be able to just reach for it. But the beauty is when we were racing, when I was navigating, I was sick of fucking like touching the mirror. They were pretty good, but on most of the leisure ones, they always get hit, or your mates fucking come along and be a dick and just push on them. So now that reduces that, and yeah, basically it stays there the same, because these new buggies are a lot further away. The seating's a bit different, well, a lot different, so you ain't going to be reaching this A-pillar mirror at all. So I have seen a few other guys run their mirrors up here, but I don't know about you, but that's probably the most fucking, the point where you hit everything. When you're in a rut, it's the first thing to hit a tree. When you're flying down a bush track, it's the first thing that hits the tree. So yeah, this part is the narrowest part of the buggy, most protected part, and it is in your eye line. So you're not, you know, looking up there to see who's behind you, but we're not fucking looking behind anyway, because we're in the front, baby, just getting it. But they are good for not running over your dog or your mate's foot or reversing into the Airbnb. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. Up the top, we've changed the roof design as well. It's a bit sleeker, less angle on the height. It's going to help us out with race trailer heights and everything. It's now 10 degrees, not 45 degrees. And it's going to house, come around the back, it's going to house the rigid chase bar. And it's actually got a housing in there, like a full box out. So on the inside of the cabin, we're going to utilize that mounting surface as an interior light. But we also had a cool idea just at lunch to mount a auxiliary exo gear speaker up here. Then that already acts as, pardon me, that already acts as doofs and wubs, but also an interior light. And then it also has charging ports as well. So you could just, when you're chilling, just charge your phone. I mean, these fucking new Mavericks have charging ports and everything up the top anyway. So it's like going into Apple up the front there, in your BMW in here. So inside, still factory. We haven't changed out the race seats or anything like that. But we do have, let's put that aside, we do have race nets to put in. So these are actually to suit a BMW coupe, and they'll be going in here like so. The reason why we chose the coupe is because they have this angle on them, and it matches it pretty much almost dead on with our B-pillar without getting custom made nets. None of that square shit around here. Look like we know what we're doing. So, ABC pillar rear foot. Once we trim the plastic, that goes in there, and that gets welded, fully welded, once we've fully welded the cage. And then we got like numbers or logos or sponsors or whatever you want to fucking put up there, bottle opener. So that's that. Moving to the rear, which is where the sexy part is. Oh, gangster spikes. So that's when your mate runs up the back of you. Not only does he level your trailing arm and your radius arm, but he also pops your $600 tyre. Because we are going to be getting it at the front, we got to make sure everyone behind us is just in love with the rear of the buggy. So we've gone with like a bit of a sandrail, pro buggy style rear bumper. And this has also opened it up because we are going to go 295s or 35s. We'll basically have the option for a 35-inch tyre. So this is actually going to be for sale as well. This is our rear bed delete kit with our rear bumper. So what you'd normally have is this wouldn't be here and your rear chassis ends here. So this allows you to put a spare tyre using a Y-strap, PSR Y-strap from there to there and there. This ends up getting Zeus fastening down. Another point, we got some mad buggy whips here. So we got some bush doof whips coming to go here and there for symmetry. And they're going to be only like the stumpies. So they're like 600 mils. So when we roll it, they don't fucking end up getting snapped in half. So let's talk bed delete kit. We've got a grill style design, laser cut design to let the heat out of your intercooler there. And then on our right here, we've got our King's Jack or AGM Jack style quick release jack system. So we got the plunger on the side and then pull out, which is fucking hell easy. and then ready to go, ready to change your shit on the side of the road. And then bang. So look, it's meant to be a little bit quicker. Everything's a bit jammed at the moment. But yeah, we got plenty of adjustment and whatnot to fuck around with there. But realistically, you don't really want it rattling around because you want to be able to hear everything that's going right or wrong with your buggy. These little guys here, the alley, 3mm alley brackets, they're pumping these guards out, little secret spicy trick, to not only clear the 35s, so then we can actually run the factory tail lights, hopefully, and we've got to make a little bracket for that as well. But because they're going so wide with the 295s or 35s, it's going to make that rear buggy look like it's meant to be there, and everything's meant to be there, so it looks fucking sick and mad and cool and funky fresh. So yeah, that's going to pump them out. Tail lights are going to clear. Tyre's going to clear because the tyre doesn't sit out, it's perfectly in line. Strap's going to clear. So the furthest out rearward most point should be this bracket here, this tie down point. Moving down, we've got the factory camera relocation hole, and then 2 auxiliary lights. So they're an LED auto lamp light, so they can have flashing blue, flashing red, flashing amber, whatever you want, or a reverse light. And then we're going to pretty much get into making an exhaust eventually. On a bit of a time limit this time around. We're going to bring this whole rear bar was designed around this factory muffler. Like I said before, we're trying to keep the factory look as best as we can with our touch. So we're going to when we make our exhaust and muffler delete, we're going to push this guy out to here, or we may even just make our own sheet metal one, but it'll be looking similar to that. Moving down, this is where the rear bumper ties into. Picks up your factory sway bar mounts, including the clearance hole for your grease nipple. And then even further down is we've got our rear pull plate and brace. So rear radius arm pull plate. Once these bolts are out, that bolts into there. We have got the capsulated nuts as well, because on the Mav Rs, when you pull these out, the nuts inside strip out. So you want to basically, we got that kit to put in, we've designed. So anyway, that goes in there, 2 bolts top and bottom, your 4 radius arm bolts, and then this guy here is your snatch point recovery. And we also have a little tube that goes in the bottom, which is going to help locate our King's Jack pin. So we've got somewhere safe and secure to jack the rear up, and it's nice and low so we can get the most out of the jack. Our side sandrail inspired Baja fucking American glamour spec fucking 1.6 alley bead panels is the money shot at the back. So we're going to bead roll this inner panel. It's going to be a feature colour. It will square these up. Now there are 3 different planes and a twist involved here, hence why it's producing this, and they're all on quarter turn fasteners as well. So we find that we're still gaining too much heat, which I doubt it. They're basically just to fill this big old void in and make it look like one uniformed vehicle, just to cover up all this shit. And to be honest, I don't even really want to make another exhaust because it's just going to end up with like a massive void in there. So this factory stuff looks sick, but yeah, unfortunately, I don't want it to sound like a Kubota motor either. Kubota! Anyway. Rear bed delete kit, lovely. Looks sick, I'm very happy with it. Took a while to design. And now we got to get on to fully welding out the sliders while they're on the car or the buggy. That way it stops them twisting and everything. So while they're all mounted, we'll weld them out, we'll leather blanket the buggy, and then we'll remove the sliders, and then we can remove the plastics, drill our final spots. So we haven't drilled them at the start because obviously as we tack and move the cage, they're going to change. So we need to keep that variable in mind. And so we're going to drill them out front and rear. So this B pillar and D pillar down the back here, remove the G clamps and just chuck 1 bolt in because again, once it's welded, it's going to want to twist. So you don't want to go drilling all your 12 holes and then not 1 bolt lines up. It shouldn't move too much because it's a fucking cage and it's locked in. But we're going to do that. We're going to cover it all, weld everything that we can reach, and then we're going to do the last little auxiliary bits before we start tearing it down. So window nets, the C pillar brackets or brace, and then we're going to quickly mark the roof with the fasteners, the Zeus clips. Drill, cut, and dimple die them. Test fit it. The reason why I wanted to leave that to last is because shit may twist a little bit and it's kind of pretty important, and it is 3mm alley roof, not like a 1.6, so it's less forgivable. And we do have a few other little auxiliary brackets to put in, like the coilover tabs, which require us removing the coilover bolt out of the way. And then we've also got these guys for the roof. We can put them in once we remove the cage. And these are going to be for a future roof console or rugged radios and air blower unit. And then last but not least, got our taco gussets. So we still need to heat up these, fold them, and then we got to install them. So they go into the B pillar and the rear main brace at the back stay. So we got a taco here, and then a double taco on the back stay. Get it, he's getting it. So yeah, that's it, stay tuned. So what we're gonna fucking weld out, we're gonna strip it, get it off to paint next week. Good thing about tube is there's really fuck all cleanup because you do get a bit of spatter, but the sandblaster usually knocks that off, but we'll go around with a wire wheel after that. But at this stage, it's pretty much like 90% because we've test fitted everything, we've mocked everything up. Normally I would do the Zeus tabs on the floor, but we just wanted to get a sight of everything. So pretty happy with it. Let us know, guys, let us know what you think so far. But yeah, we've got some other cool ideas obviously with the buggy and I can't wait to show you. So stay tuned.